What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I am so excited to go through the February TBR today for 2026. And the same as last year, I decided to do it themed for some reason. So all the books are pink or within the pink realm. So if that sounds like something entertaining to you guys, definitely stick around for the video. It's reading time here at JB's Corner. For those of you that are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Jaya and I put out videos every Wednesday and Sunday on primarily bookish related content. I do apologize, but I have a feline visitor here and she's trying to chew wires. For those that don't know and who are new to the channel, this is Taco. You want to say hi? Her full name is Minerva Taco because we are a reading channel and she does look like Minerva McGonagall in her animagus form, which is why her name is Minerva. And she has been called Mini Taco her whole life and has now graduated to Taco. We also have a beautiful black cat that will show up once in a while on this channel. Her name is Bella Luna. So my husband likes to joke that we have mini Taco Bells running around the house. Say hi to the pretty people. Now say bye. Off you go. Chuckles. Anyways, guys, sorry about that. I'm a mess today. Today I am in pink. I have also decided that for the rest of the month of February, I'm going to try to do outfits that are pink themed because it's just the month of love. So I will be honest, for those of you on this channel who are here for more of the thrillers, or you're here for more of the fantasy, or you're here for more of young adult or sci-fi, this is not the right month for you guys because I do tend to stick to more romance related books during this month. If you are a romance girly and you absolutely love what it represents, then you're definitely in the right place. That being said, I do still need to split up my books a little bit. So I have a couple of thrillers in here as well. And I would love for you guys to stick around to hear more about the books. For those of you that are new, thank you for being here. It means the world to me that you clicked on this video and you decided to stick around. For those of you that are returning, this community would not exist without you guys. This platform wouldn't exist without you guys. So I truly, truly am thankful for the time that you guys take to not only watch the videos, but the comments that you guys leave. It means so much to me because truly it's just inspirational to know that other people care about what I have to say about books and that they share the same level of love and joy for reading that I do. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. I do want to also say that this stack of books is very ambitious. I don't necessarily see myself getting through all of these, but I still know they're going to look absolutely lovely on the TBR cart, and I'm just so excited for this February season. So the first book that I have on this list is Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Ashley Poston writes a lot of mystical realism books, and they're usually very, very fun books where the romance is definitely a primary component of the book, but I love the fact that the female character usually stands alone and apart and goes through her journey of self-discovery and growth with or without the male character's help, and she kind of develops a spine for herself. That's what I've seen in most of the other books that I've read by her. This one I'm very excited for the same reason. The whimsy and what ifs of Ashley Poston's novels have made her a must-buy for me. A beautiful, beautiful endorsement from Jodi Picoult. She can't get him out of her head. Joni Lark has a secret. She's one of the most coveted songwriters in Los Angeles, and yet she can't write. There's an emptiness inside her, and nothing seems to fill it. When she returns to her hometown of Vienna Shores, North Carolina, she hopes that the sand, the surf, and the concerts at the Revelry, her family's music venue, will spark inspiration. But when Joni gets there, nothing is how she left it. Her best friend is hiding something, her mother's memories are fading fast, and the Revelry is closing. How can Joni write when her world is leaving her behind? Then she hears it, a melody in her head, lyricless and half-formed, and all alluring and addictive voice to go with it, belonging, apparently, to a wry musician with an emptiness of his own. Surely he's a figment of Joni's overworked imagination. Then a very real man shows up in Vienna Shores. He's arrogant and guarded, not at all like the sweet, funny voice in Joni's head, and he has a plan for breaking their inconvenient telepathic connection. Finish the song haunting them both, and hope they don't risk their hearts or their secrets in the process, because that melody, the one drawing them together, What if it's there for a reason? So obviously the secret mystical connection here is going to be the music that draws these two characters together. It feels very Grumpy Sunshine vibes to me. At least that's what I'm getting from it as I'm reading the back of the book. But I love, love, love the idea of music and love being mixed together in this beautiful novel. And I also love the beautiful pink cover. Moving on to our next book. A little while back, I did end up reading the Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and that was my first introduction to her books. And I do feel like February is a decent month for sports romance books, so I decided to pick up The Graham Effect. This is basically the spin-off from the Campus series with those main characters' children as the primary characters in the plot point. So I thought this one would be fun, especially because it is still an ice hockey vibe, and I just thought it sounded entertaining. So we have Gigi Graham, who has exactly 3 goals: qualify for the women's national hockey team, win Olympic gold, and step out of her famous father's shadow. So far, so good, except for 2 things: fine, a little thing, and a big grumpy thing. She needs to improve her game behind the net, and she needs help from Luke Ryder. Ryder is a 6'5" built, opinionated, rude, and sexy as hell. But he's still the enemy. Briar's new hockey co-captain has his reasons, though. The men's team just emerged with a rival program, leaving Ryder with an angry roster where everyone hates one another's guts. To make matters worse, the summer coaching spot he's angling for with the legendary Garrett Graham is out of reach after he makes the worst possible first impression on his hero. So really, this compromise with Gigi is win-win. He helps her make the national team. She puts in a good word with her dad. The only potential snag, the bone-deep, body-numbing, mind-spinning chemistry they're trying to ignore. It's a dangerous game they're playing, but the risks might just be worth it. I'm also hoping to get a little bit more of Garrett Graham and his wife's story in this, because I did actually really like their story in the Off-Campus series. So I'm very excited to pick this up and kind of see where it picks up from and see if it might be just as entertaining as the other books. I will say that the Off-Campus books, they're not something necessarily to write home about. They're good, they're fun, they're entertaining, but they weren't, I would say, something that changed my life or anything like that. But the first book in particular, The Deal, I did enjoy, and I enjoyed those 2 characters quite a bit. So I am excited to see the continuation of their story in this book as well. Next up, I have this one. I know this is more borderline purple, but it's all good. We're still going to read it just because the vibes are so perfect. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry, guys. I grabbed the wrong one. Hold, please. This one. This is the one I was supposed to have. I do apologize. So, this book is called The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. It is one of the first book in the series, but I thought we'd still count it because it has the beautiful pink houses and the pink wisteria on the front cover, even though it's blue. So this will be lower on the totem pole because I do also feel like I want to do a month that's dedicated to like historical fiction. So if I do end up doing that, we'll have some Hannah, Kristen in there, but we might also have some of these. So we'll see. But just in case, a prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. Cecilia Besingthwaite is the ideal Victorian lady. She's also a thief. Like the other members of the Wisteria Society crime sorority, she flies around England, drinking tea, blackmailing friends, and acquiring treasure by interesting means. Sure, she has a dark and traumatic past and an overbearing aunt, but all things considered, it's a pleasant existence until the men show up. Ned Lightbourne is some-time assassin who is smitten with Cecilia from the moment they meet. Unfortunately, that happens to be while he's under direct orders to kill her. His employer, Captain Morvath, who possesses a Gothic abbey bristling with cannons and an unbridled hate for the world, intends to rid England of all its presumptuous women, starting with the Wisteria Society. Ned has plans of his own, but both men have made one grave mistake. Never underestimate a woman. When Morvath imperils the Wisteria Society, Cecilia is forced to team up with her handsome would-be assassin to save the women who raised her, hopefully proving once and for all that she's as much of a scoundrel as the rest of them. I'm excited for this. I did end up reading one of these books out of order, and it was about the witches in the world, where basically they find themselves tangling back and forth between the pirates and the witches. So I'm curious to see what happens in this book, because this was the original first book in the series. And I absolutely loved India Holton's writing style as well as this book. So I am curious to see what this book has to offer. We'll see whether I end up picking this up this month or if it's going to be saved for maybe April, but I still wanted to put it on the list just in case. The next book I have on my list is Wildfire. This is the second book in the Icebreaker Maple Hills series. I did enjoy the first one quite a bit. I think it was fun. It was like a solid 3-star read for me. Nothing to really write home about, but was still enjoyable. So I thought I would continue the series. I've heard the third book is the one that I'm waiting for. That's the one I really want to read. It's the story for Henry, and Henry was probably my favorite character from the first book, but I am hoping to get a little bit more depth from the characters in this book. I did find the characters a little one-dimensional in the first book. So I'm curious to see if this will redeem the series name. I do know that a lot of people loved this book and it was very popular online for a while. So we'll see. We'll see what the hype was about. It only takes one spark. At a party celebrating the end of the academic year, Maple Hills students Russ Callaghan and Aurora Roberts have a passionate one-night stand. Never one to overstay her welcome or expect much from a man, Aurora slips away before Russ even has the chance to ask for her full name. Days later, they run into each other in their new jobs as summer camp counselors, hoping to escape their complicated home lives. Russ knows breaking the camp's strict no staff fraternizing rule will have him heading back to Maple Hills before the summer is over. But unfortunately for him, Aurora has never been very good at caring about the rules. So I don't know if this is going to be all like spice or if there's actually going to be a purpose to this book, but we'll see. I do hope there's more to it than just spice, but I still love the pink. I still love the vibes, so we're going to keep her on the list. This book I'm actually excited for. This is Liz Tomforde's second book in her series, which is Right Move. And in this, we're actually following the story of Ryan, who I am very excited to read about. In Mile High, which was the first book by Liz Tomforde, we are following two characters. One is a female air hostess, and the other one is a professional hockey player. And the two of them and their romance is very, very whirlwind. It's fast, it's cute, but I also really like the fact that the characters themselves had a little bit more depth and they were developed, which is what I really enjoyed about Liz Tomforde's writing style. This book is going to be focusing on Ryan, who happens to be the older brother slash, well, I guess around the same age as the main female character from the first book, and I absolutely adore his character. He is an NBA player, and his love interest is actually a friend of hers from the air hostess team as well. And she also seems a little bit complicated, a little bit of a mess, but also very loyal and very kind-hearted human. So I'm curious to see where this book will take us. Ryan, she's a distraction. That's what she is. I'm the newest captain of the Devils Chicago NBA team, and the last thing I needed this year was for Indy Ivers, my sister's best friend, to move into my apartment. She's messy, emotional, and way too tempting. But when the team's general manager vocalizes his blatant disapproval of my promotion to captain, referring to me as an unapproachable lone wolf with no work-life balance, I can't think a better way to convince him otherwise than pretending to date my ongoing roommate. The only problem? Faking it feels far too natural. Having a fake girlfriend wasn't supposed to be messy, but having Indy under my roof and in my bed is complicated, especially when she wants all the romantic parts of life that I could never give her. Indy, I never imagined I'd be living with my best friend's brother, NBA superstar Ryan Shea. Even more unbelievable, he needs me to act as his loving girlfriend who suddenly changed him into a friendly and approachable guy. Because, well, he's not. He's controlling of his space and untrusting of others. Our arrangement isn't one-sided, though. I'm in a wedding coming up, one where every one of my childhood friends, including my ex-boyfriend, will be in attendance, and there's no better date than my ex's celebrity hero. Blurred lines make it almost impossible to separate real from fake. Falling for my roommate was never part of the deal, especially when Ryan is quick to remind me that he doesn't believe in love. I'm a romantic and can't help fantasizing that he'll change, but soon enough I find myself questioning if sharing a roof with my best friend's brother was the right move after all. So I'm curious to see where this one will take us. I do like the fact that, at least with the first book, Liz Tomforde really allowed the characters to shine and develop, and the chemistry between the characters were built over time. And I'm hoping that's what we get with this one too, but we'll see. Up next, we have See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This is a young adult book, and it only happens to be on my shelf because it was part of Barnes & Noble's Buy Something at a Cafe, Pick Up a Book for $5 deal, and I was like, why not? So we picked her up. I have no idea what this book is about, but it sounds like it could be cute. Baird Bloom is hoping college will be a fresh start after a messy high school experience. But when school begins on September 21st, everything goes wrong. She's humiliated by the know-it-all in her physics class. She botches her interview for the college paper, and at a party that night, she accidentally sets the frat house on fire. She panics and flees, and when she realizes her roommate locked her out of their dorm, she falls asleep in the common room. The next morning, Barrett's perplexed to find herself back in her dorm room bed, no longer smelling of ashes and crushed dreams. It's September 21st, again. And after a confrontation with Miles, the guy from Physics 101, she learns she's not alone. He's been trapped for months. When her attempts to fix her timeline fail, she agrees to work with Miles to find a way out. Soon they're exploring the mysterious underbelly of the university and going on wild romantic adventures. And they start falling for each other. They face the universe's biggest unanswered question yet. What happens to their relationship if they finally make it to tomorrow? I think this should be fun. I really enjoyed Lynn Painter's version of this book, which was, what was it? I will pull out that book and tell you the exact name, but that one was so cute, and it was basically Valentine's Day, Groundhog Day vibes, and this sounds like it's going to be another Groundhog Day vibe, but also in a college setting instead of a high school setting. So I'm curious to see where this book will take me. Of course, we have to have a little bit of romantasy in there, so I also happened to pick up Hellbent's first book, My Funny Demon Valentine. Let's start it this way. Asmodeus, Prince of Hell, just wants to make music. Jazz, specifically. Unfortunately, he's a demon, and he's supposed to be evil. Clearly, for Ash, a career as a musician isn't exactly an option. Plus, he's cursed. Sick of playing by the rules, Ash and his 3 brothers escape hell and search for freedom on Earth. But it's harder than they thought to keep their enemies off their tails. Yet everything changes for Ash when he meets a beautiful violinist who can see through his curse, no matter the risk he has to have her. Evangeline Gregory is just your average human. She works at a jazz bar, plays gigs on weekends, and apparently hallucinates demons. At least that's what Eva tells herself when, moments after she meets the man of her dreams, she sees him shift into a 7-foot-tall monster. Not believing her own eyes, Eva decides to investigate and soon finds herself in the middle of a supernatural cluster F. But Ash isn't the only one keeping secrets, and a shocking truth will change Eva's life forever. Or maybe just doom it. The path to love can be complete hell. I'm excited to read this one. It sounds like it's actually going to be funny, and even the back description of it makes it sound more funny than anything else. So I think this will be an entertaining love story for sure. And it'll be entertaining to see how they get out of this curse and how they navigate the situation. And I love the fact that the bonding is over music. And let's appreciate the pink and black cover. I mean, so Valentine's Day. I'm excited. For those of you that have been watching my channel, you may know that one author that I recently discovered that I actually enjoyed thoroughly was Meghan Quinn, but I did end up reading her Christmas novels, and I have not read anything else by her. So I'm curious to see if the Christmas novels are her standard or if that was a one-off, but I ended up thinking that it's probably time to read Bridesmaids for Hire. So sometimes the wedding of the century calls for desperate measures. And sometimes those desperate measures are to pretend the person you hate most is actually your boyfriend. Event planner Maggie Mitchell is ready for a vacation. When an abundant need for some R&R, she heads to Bora Bora to kick up her feet and soak in the sun. Unfortunately, on day 1, she runs into Brody McFadden, her brother's best friend, and also her sworn enemy. Thanks to years of tension between the two, Maggie has vowed to stay away from the man. That is, until she finds out he's on the island for his boss's daughter's wedding, hoping to use the trip to win a real future at the company. Maggie promised herself she wouldn't even think of work on the island, but as word spreads about the wedding of the century taking place in the midst of her vacation, she realizes offering her service as a bridesmaid and planner could bring her business to the next level. The only catch? She needs to pose as Brody's girlfriend to get the job, which means hand-holding, kissing, and sharing the same one-bed bungalow. Tensions rise, irritation flares, and despite years of worth of bickering behind closed doors, Maggie can't quite squash the sparks building between her and her new fake boyfriend. But as the wedding day draws closer and everything starts to go wrong, it just might be Brody who sends Maggie's business crashing down and her heart along with it. So I do think this one should be fun. I think it'll be cute. I'm getting the same vibes from this that I kind of got from the movie Wedding Planner. I don't think it's anything like that, but that's kind of the vibes I'm getting, and that was a really fun romance movie that I remember enjoying back in the 90s. So I'm excited to see where this book takes me, and I'm hoping that I'll love it just as much as I've loved other Meghan Quinn books in the past. And again, maintaining that pink theme. All right. Then we have Miss Chloe Walsh's Binding 13. This was also the book that won for our book club read for the month of February. So I'm very excited to pick it up and read it and join in the fun of discussing this book. Now, while I realize the cover is more black and blue pink, I do like the fact that the spine is pink. So when it's on the actual book cart, it'll still maintain the pink theme, if you know what I'm saying. He wants to save her. She wants to hide. She's damaged. He's determined. Fate brought them together. Love binds them. Johnny Kavanagh has everything going for him. On the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with, even plagued with a hidden injury. Everyone knows he's heading straight for the top. But that means there's no room for mistakes or distractions. Not even the shy new girl at Tomforde College, the one with the sad eyes and concealed bruises. He needs to stay focused, keep his cool, and not let anything get in the way of the bigger picture. Except before he knows it, this lonely girl has become his only picture. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. Bullied and tortured, she arrives at Tomforde College midway through the school year, praying for a fresh start and desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. But when she meets the notorious Johnny Kavanagh on her first day, her plans to keep a low profile are at serious risk. As they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry, hidden pains and complicated secrets threaten to be their undoing. But Johnny won't give up on Shannon, no matter what it might cost them both. I've heard this is a very emotional book. I've heard that it's absolutely beautiful and haunting, and I know so many different people who have read this series and just absolutely adored it. I do know that now that the series is complete, I'm more open to starting the series, only because I feel like I'm not very good at waiting for a series to complete. I like reading a series in one shot. So for that reason, I'm excited to finally pick up Chloe Walsh's Binding 13. And I do have the other 5 books in the series as well. So if we love it enough, you never know, I might be back with another video showcasing the entire series. The next book that I've picked up is the Sophie Irwin's Ladies' Guide to Scandal. Now, this is the second book in the series, but I've heard it's a standalone book. And I just felt like this one fits that pink vibe, and I love how beautiful these pages are. I also love the fact that this has the little cutout inside of it, and it has the beautiful ink and bottle inside. It's also signed by the author, which is so sweet. And this was a book that is from Fairyloot. Where did we get this? Or Illumicrate. It was either Fairyloot or Illumicrate, and I'm blanking on which one it was. But I've heard it's really fun, and it is in the same realm as like Bridgerton type of novel set in that historical fiction kind of vibe. And the inside cover does not actually tell us what the book is about, so I'm going in completely blind. No, I'm not, sorry. Here it is. A Lady's Guide to Scandal. Sophie Irwin's debut novel, A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting, that's the first one, was an instant Sunday Times bestseller and has since been published in nearly 30 countries worldwide. Sophie grew up in Dorset before moving to South London after university. Just kidding. This is about Sophie Irwin. This is not about the book. But that's okay, because we still want to read this book since it is following 2 new characters, and I feel like it's just going to be enjoyable. It says on the back, being good is for wallflowers. Eliza's ready to break the rules. This is an Afterlight exclusive, so this is from Illumicrate. Absolutely stunning copy of this book. I do have the other one of this book too. It's the one that's green right on that shelf right there. And I'm thinking that, again, this might be one of those books that I don't get to this month, because I might do an entire month that is specifically dedicated to this genre and this vibe of book, but I haven't quite decided yet. But since it is the month that Bridgerton is also releasing the new season, and I plan on rewatching the whole series, I'm thinking that maybe April will be the month that I sit down and watch the whole series. High tea weather, spring is coming, and on top of that, I have so many books in that genre, in that realm that I could read, that this might be saved for a later date. But I just love how pink it is, and I just feel like it's perfect for the pink-themed book choices for this month as well. I also have on here My Dark Romeo. This is the first of the books in this series, which is, what is the series actually called? Oh, Dark Prince Road. That's what it's called, the series. And this is the first book. It is actually signed by the author, which is very cool. This is the Amazon version of this book, which I think is so fun. It is absolutely beautiful. Like, I mean, the book itself is stunning, and I love the red on the interior cover and the pink on the outside. It's just so gorgeous. And it says here, some Romeos deserve to die on the back of the book. So let's read the inside. My fairy tale turned into a cautionary one, inked in tar and sealed in tears. From Wall Street Journal bestselling authors Elle J. Shen and Parker S. Huntington comes an explosive marriage of inconvenience between a tarnished Romeo and a reluctant Juliet. It was supposed to be a harmless kiss at a lavish debutante ball, a clandestine moment with a handsome stranger. But unlike his namesake, my Romeo isn't driven by love. He's fueled by revenge. To him, I'm a chess piece, leverage, his rival's betrothed. To me, he's a man deserving of poison, a dark prince I refuse to marry. He thinks I'll accept my fate. Well, I plan to rewrite it. And it's my story. Juliet doesn't die. But Romeo, he perishes. So I'm excited to read this version of the book. I think it should be fun that it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, with more power being given to the main female character. I do think that this is going to be a fun read, and I'm very excited that it matches the pink vibes, that it has the beautiful painted edges, and that it'll be a nice bright red when we pull that cover off to read it. The next two books that I have are now diverging from the world of romance because I do feel like I need something to cut the romance and the sweetness. So these are in a slightly different genre. The first one I have is Severance by Ling Ma. This was also one of the Book of the Month selections. This is quite old. It was released back in December of 2018. And it has to kind of do with like zombie apocalypse vibes from my understanding. Is it the end of the world or just another day at the office? Candace Chen, newly minted New Yorker, first generation American, recent orphan, millennial worker bee, loves going to work. She likes the routine and the anonymity of the city. She likes coordinating the production of specialty Bibles, having a project to complete, an object to create, troubles to shoot. Sometimes she likes watching movies in her boyfriend's basement apartment. Lather, rinse, repeat. So Candace barely notices when Shen fever sweeps New York. Families flee, companies seize operation, the subway squeaks to a halt. Persuaded by a big payout to be a one-person skeleton crew at the office, she spends her free time photographing the abandoned city as an anonymous blogger, New York ghost. Eventually, though, Candace will have to escape from Manhattan, enter a group of survivors led by the power-hungry IT specialist named Bob. They're traveling to a place called the Facility, where Bob promises they will have everything they need to start society anew. But Candace is guarding a secret Bob will certainly exploit. Will her rescuers become her captors? A send-up and takedown of the rituals, routines, and missed opportunities of contemporary life, Ling Ma's Severance is a moving family story, a quirky coming-of-adulthood tale, and a hilarious deadpan satire in which the end of the world gets put in its rightful place. Just another setback for an already beside culture. Most of all, it's a heartfelt tribute to the connections that drive us to do more than survive. So this one sounds like it'll be a fun little break in the other books that I'm reading. I also think it's going to have a lot of depth to it and a lot of social commentary, which I'm also excited for. So definitely looking forward to reading Severance this month as well. Last but not least, I do have a murder thriller book, and this is called Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. Very excited for this one too. Just Like Home is a darkly gothic thriller from nationally best-selling author Sarah Gailey, perfect for fans of Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House, as well as HBO's true crime masterpiece, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Come home, Vera's mother called, and Vera obeyed. In spite of their long estrangement, in spite of the memories, she's come back to the home of a serial killer. Back to face the love she had for her father and the bodies he buried there. Coming home is hard enough for Vera, and to make things worse, she and her mother aren't alone. A parasitic artist has moved into the guest house, out back, and is slowly stripping Vera's childhood for spare parts. He insists that he isn't the one leaving notes around the house in her father's handwriting, but who else could it possibly be? There are secrets yet undiscovered in the foundations of the notorious Crowder house. Vera must face them and find out for herself just how deep the rot goes. I feel like this one just sounds so interesting and so fun. And I I'm so excited to read it. I also love the fact that this book is also red and that the letters, I don't know if you can tell, but they're rose gold, which is just stunning. So definitely excited to read this book and see where the darkness takes me. I feel like this might be the last book that I end on, or maybe like the last week of February, because March typically tends to be my thriller month, and I feel like this is going to be perfect for bringing in the end of the month, as well as cutting all the sap and getting me prepared for the thrillers that are coming up in March. I'm so excited for thriller month in March as well, but for now we're going to focus on the pretty pink and all the happy vibes. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching, but that does bring me to a wrap of the book selections for 2026's February in our pink theme. Now, there are 2 books on this list that we may not get to, but outside of those 2, which I had mentioned before, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books total as of right now, which I think is potentially doable. So we'll see how the things fall, if you may. But I'm excited definitely to get through these books and enjoy the heck out of them. And I am just so excited to celebrate this month of love. I cannot thank you guys enough for clicking on this video, for being here to watch this video, for making it this far with me. Definitely let me know in the comments below what books you guys are interested in hearing about. If there's any books you feel like I need to add to this list, as well as any books that are on your TBR this month, I would love to know. And I just wanted to say, for those of you that are returning, once again, I cannot thank you enough for your support, for your love, for your kindness, for just the warmth that you have provided me to be able to talk about this passion in such a safe way on the internet, which is a scary thing. But I love the fact that everyone has just been so welcoming and kind and open to having conversations about all things books. For those of you that are new here, once again, thank you for being here. If you did enjoy this content and you want to be a part of the family, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. I would love to see you back for future videos. And I just want to say, I do love reading your comments and I do like responding to them. So please, please, please do leave me a comment below of what your favorite Valentine's Day book is if you make it to the end of this video. And with that, I just want to say to everyone that I hope wherever you are, whether it's morning, evening, or night, that it's a beautiful, beautiful day and that you guys are getting plenty of time to rest, relax, and read, that you're feeling happy, secure, and safe, and that you and your loved ones are all together during this beautiful season of love. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.